All right, now we're going to take a little tour of the interface of Bambu Studio here, okay? When you first come to Bambu Studio, you'll be on this home screen. Now, you can kind of ignore this section that says online models. That's just Bambu's own catalog, sort of like Thingiverse. So if you see something there that you like, you might be able to make it. Just be aware that a lot of times these models will come with specific types of plastic that they're set up to use that we may not have, or specific printers that they've been printed on that we don't have. And so you'll have to kind of look through that and make sure that you get those settings correct. Now, you might notice there's a little login button here and a little warning about the network plugin. You don't have to worry about either of those things because you won't ever be connecting to the library's computer yourself. You will be submitting the files to us, and then we will be putting them on the printer as they come up in the queue. So where we're going to go now is to create a new project. When we click create a new project, it's going to go ahead and it's going to take us into the prepare interface. And you'll know you're in the prepare interface because this tab up here says prepare. Now, there are also preview tabs and device tabs. The two main ones you'll be in is prepare and preview, but you can always get back to where we were by clicking home. So if you ever feel like you're missing something, like you don't see what you're expecting, chances are you've just gotten onto the wrong tab. And when you're on the wrong tab, you can't see the tools that belong to the other tab. So in the Prepare tab is where we're going to be to get our model ready. We'll do that in the next video, but right now I just want to show you kind of the interface. So you've got the tabs. Over here on the left, you have different panels like quality, strength, support, and others. Now, there are a lot of different options here, and the only ones that you need to worry about are the ones that I tell you to worry about, right? There's a lot of things that you could adjust here, and you may get to the point where you want to learn to do those things. But for right now, it can be really overwhelming to try and understand all of these things right now. And the truth is, the Bambu Lab X1 Carbon is a really good printer that when paired with Bambu Studio can handle most of the settings for you really well, and you don't need to worry about them. So only worry about the ones that I tell you to worry about as we go through this instead of trying to figure out what everything means. Now, up here at the top is a little toolbar. Again, there's a lot of tools here, and we won't use all of them for what we need to do. And then up here are these little buttons. So a lot of times people will get confused about these buttons because this is how we slice the plate and how we export the plate. So we will have a video just on exporting, but for now I just want you to know you don't ever need to worry about this share button. This share button is how you upload a file to Bambu's own servers so that that file can be shared with other people. That's basically what we saw here on the home tab. All of these models are ones that have been shared. So you don't ever need to worry about that share button. That is not the button that you use to get your file out to submit to the library. So leave that one alone, and then we'll learn more about the slice plate and the print plate buttons, which we will need as we go through this class. The other thing that you need to know about working in Bambu Studio is that you are working in three-dimensional space, and this might be a new concept for a lot of you because we're used to working with two-dimensional documents on a computer. You can go in all three directions, X, Y, and Z, in 3D space. So let me just show you. If I click and I drag, just clicking with my mouse button and dragging, I can rotate around and I can look at this plate. And that's how I look at the model. I can also zoom in and out by scrolling. So I'm just scrolling on the scroll wheel on the mouse, or if you're using the computer at the library, which is a magic mouse, you'll just drag your finger across the top without clicking, and that's the scroll function. So I can zoom in and out, and I can rotate around. Sometimes I might end up over in one spot where I need to see something to the left or right, in which case I'm just going right click and drag, and then I can pan left and right. And I'll scroll out again so that we can see the whole plate. So navigating in 3D space takes some getting used to, and there will be times where you end up in a place that's very confusing to you. So in that case, just kind of zoom out, get your bearings, rotate the plate back to where you want it to be, and then zoom in again. And have some patience with yourself as you're learning this because this is a new skill, and so it does take time to learn how to navigate and work in 3D space.